This is not about President Trump. He will face the judgment of the voters. But he shows the need for us to create a process for future presidents. Throughout America's history, our leaders have created and strengthened guardrails in the Constitution to ensure stability and continuity of government in times of crisis. The 25th Amendment creates a path for preserving stability if a president suffers a crippling physical or mental problem and is, quote, in the amendment, unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office and transfers his powers. Specifically, Section 4 of the amendment empowers Congress to set up an independent body to confront such a crisis. Congress has a constitutional duty to lay out the process by which a president's incapacity and the president of any party is determined. This bill honors the duty by creating a standing commission of top former executive officials and medical experts selected in a bipartisan, bicameral way. A president's fitness for office must be determined by science and facts. Again, this isn't about any judgment anybody has about somebody's behavior. This is about a diagnosis, a professional medical diagnosis. Let me just back up for a second just to put personal here. When this happened, it was after the assassination of President Kennedy. And you may not know this, you weren't born yet, but there was and Lyndon Johnson became president, there was no vice president. And if anything had happened to President Johnson, and his health was not the greatest, the Speaker of the House would have become the President of the United States. So this sets up how you would elect a vice president, how a vice president would be chosen by the president, but voted upon by the House and Senate. And of course, that's what happened with Gerald Ford. He was, after Spiro Agnew, all that, he was appointed the vice president and very popular in the Congress on both sides of the aisle, both sides of the Capitol. I love the story about how that happened because on his 90th birthday, Gerald Ford came to the House, which is where he sprang from. He was the minority leader. And I said, Mr. President, I'm so honored to serve. I was minority leader at the time. I'm so honored to serve in the position that you served in. And he said to me, I served with your father. I served with your father, and he started to tell me stories about that. When he died, I was the incoming speaker, and we had the honor of opening up the speaker's office and all the rest, even though I wasn't going to be sworn in for a day or two, but had possession of the speaker's office open to his family, who at the time he was minority leader, that's where he presided, and again, where his children came and did their homework and all the rest. So we have a real personal connection to Gerald Ford, who filled this spot as determined by the 25th Amendment to the Constitution. We can do a couple things at once. We can engage in our political activity for the public to make its verdict 25 days from now, and at the same time honor our responsibilities to have something in place that does not apply to this president, but certainly raises the issue. If a president, and this is, not with bad intention, if a president becomes incapacitated by stroke or ventilation, whatever it happens to be, that he would not have the ability, as Ronald Reagan had, as President George Herbert Walker Bush had, as President George W. Bush had, to make a judgment for this period of time, I transfer the power. So this sets up a formula. It's not for any of us to decide that. It's about a process to decide it. And as the distinguished gentleman said, without the vice president is crucial to this, and that would be the vice president of the president's party.